something that we discussed last week in our last episode about the US government really beginning for the first time taking meaningful steps to counteract the Russian, Iranian, Chinese kind of influence operations that are informing our discourse here in the United States. And we had a great segment with Stuart Stevens and Jerry Craig where we discussed this last week. But on Friday, there was a big announcement. The US government announced that RT, which is seen in most of the world as an independent, legitimate news organization, Russia Today, as it used to be called, is actually a fully integrated part of Russian intelligence operations and influence operations around the world. This was a huge announcement made by our Secretary of State. And even though RT may not be a big player here in the United States, it is a huge media organization in other parts of the world, particularly in Latin America. And then we saw, just on Tuesday, Meta announced that RT would be banned from all of their platforms. A huge thing. The Russian government has gone bananas because this was their central way of pushing their propaganda around the world. And now you have, the biggest media platform in the world, banning RT in the coming days from all their global platforms in every language. And I wondered if given the discussion we had last week, just your reflections on that and the importance of this.
Yeah, it really was the first kind of bit of good news out of this story that is going to continue to evolve, right? We know that Russia is intervening. We know that they're savvy about it. It's so great that light is being shed on it early. And frankly, I was very, very happily surprised when I saw the breaking news alert that Meta came out and banned RT from all of their platforms. So Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, which is also the most prolific messaging platform, especially for South American countries, Latin American countries, also Latinos in America that get this information. And they explicitly called it out for election interference. And I was surprised and happily so, as I mentioned, but I was surprised because Meta had actually gone to great pains to roll back a lot of their policies and disband the teams that they had put in place to monitor and deplatform people who are spreading disinformation and misinformation in elections and beyond. Like many other platforms, they all sort of rolled back these policies and disbanded these teams that were put in place after Russian interference in the 2016 election, and again, increased capacity for that work after the January 6th insurrection. And so that was really disheartening to the whole community of folks like myself and you who were watching this play out, because it really, really felt like there wasn't even like a shallow level of cover or capacity to be able to counteract this stuff. And that it was sort of, we were just at the whim of these platforms, them throwing up their hands saying, we're not a news platform. We're not a political platform. We're going to turn off political content in your news feed. Don't look at us when things go wrong. But then for them to step up, and I'm sure there was organizing and pressure, and I'm grateful for the folks who did that. But to come out and actually make a move like this, this soon or far out, however, as you look at it before the election. So it does give me confidence that they are paying attention, they are being pressured, and they are doing the right thing when there is pressure. And it contributes to the story that is important. Russia is involved. The GOP and Trump are very, very, very entrenched in pro-Russia politics and communities, and folks need to know that. It may not be the most dominant issue or narrative in this election. You know that I believe strongly that abortion is going to be the thing that drives the most people out, but people need to understand that Trump and his team and the folks that are backing him really cannot be trusted. And they are not hiding those deep, deep connections and relations. And so having the Department of Justice, having a huge corporation and powerful corporation like Meta come out is really profound in letting people know that this is happening.